This is kind of wild. Will a robot take my job is one of the most Googled questions. It kind of makes sense. You know, when phones were first invented, there was probably horse messengers freaking out all over the joint. Vinyl's making a comeback, but fidelity aside, why bother when you can have a curated playlist with thousands of songs right on your phone? Come to think of it, I can't tell you the last time I shot a film on film. See, change makes people panic, but things evolve regardless, so we accept it, we move on. And now that we're entering the so-called fourth industrial revolution, yeah, automation's gonna replace some jobs, but it will also create new ones and probably give rise to industries that never existed. That's the topic some of these next folks are exploring, how machine learning is making things more productive, more efficient, safer, and cleaner.
The trucking industry is at a crossroads. E-commerce is driving demand for shipping higher than ever. But the harsh realities of long-haul trucking are sending professional drivers looking for other work, leaving a 50,000 driver shortage in the US alone.
There are, of course, some industries that will be impacted by AI in terms of labor workforce being diminished. But there are some industries that don't have the workforce to sustain it. And so that disconnect, that's where AI can fit in very nicely.
My name is Maureen Fitzgerald. I've been driving trucks for 32 years, and I was ready to make a change. 3, 2, 1.
Engaged.
Approaching retirement, Maureen saw automation coming and assumed it would replace her. She was partly right. Automation is coming, but her job won't be lost. It will evolve.
I've been in this career a long time. I've seen how everything has been changing. The monotony of coast to coast and the pay being low, and you're sleeping in a sleeper, you're sleeping at a truck stop. It's hard. It's a hard life. I saw an ad for a test driver, and I said, that has to be the perfect job.
Okay, but this isn't just about Maureen. We've all heard about self-driving cars, but self-driving trucks, why are they setting the pace of the autonomous driving industry?
We already have robotic airplanes. Most airliners fly themselves. But self-driving cars are a harder problem because the roads have a lot more things going on than the air does. And driving on the freeway is much easier than driving in the city. So we will see fleets of automated trucks, I think, long before we see self-driving cars in the city.
Merging onto a highway is difficult and dangerous. It requires mastering a complicated set of physical and mental skills, having keen sensory and spatial awareness, preparing for unpredictability and human fallibility.
And we're in.
And doing it all fast and fresh each time. Otherwise, you risk crashing, or worse.
Turn signal is on.
Okay, I'm showing the left
We are
intention.
going to have a truck next to us, but he's moving over.
Okay, confirmed.
Looks like we are clear to get over. The pickup is moving.
This truck is measuring what's coming up behind it, how fast they're coming up behind it.
Looks a little congested up there.
Yep. It has a full 360 view all the time.
The AI uses the images that are coming from the cameras with other sensors, LiDAR and radar. LiDAR is a laser rangefinder that is measuring the distance to objects 360 degrees around. It gives us a three-dimensional picture of the world.
In the virtual world, there's a direct correspondence of the map and the location where the vehicle is, and the behaviors of other vehicles, their locations, their speed, their future intentions. And once all these things are recreated, it's basically asking the computer to play a game.
Okay, target front continuing at 57.
Good job.
When I'm looking at the data that the truck is feeding me, not only am I seeing the current environment, but I'm seeing ahead into the future.
And we have a slow vehicle cutting
See
us
the
off.
cut in at a 51.
That was a good one.
Okay, I saw the cut in.
If we need to make a lane change, the truck's going to know before I do.
Okay, I currently don't have, there we go, I have an intention. We're going right now.
Left change.
let's go.
Okay, so this is where things get interesting. This truck's tricked out with sophisticated cameras and software, but it still doesn't have one critical element. The thing that AI may never have.
The central problem in AI is that human beings have common sense and computers do not. We take common sense for granted. We know how the world works, and everything that we do in our daily life involves common sense.
Pretty steady stream now on our left.
You see it?
And people have been trying to imbue AI with common sense since the beginning. And what is extraordinary is, at the end of the day, how little progress we've made.
There are behaviors that the truck has to learn to become human in some sense, because not everybody else is operating at the same level.
All right.
Turns out that getting the first basic systems was a big milestone, but then there's this long tail of difficult situations that are much harder to solve. When you're merging, do you have to give way or does it make sense to go forward? That requires a level of understanding that we humans barely have, but machines aren't there yet.
People think that the emergence of artificial intelligence is the biggest event on the planet since life, because it's going to be a change that is as big as the emergence of life. It will lead to different kinds of life that are very different from the entire set of, DNA, carbon-based life that we've had so far.
While some are ramping up the search in outer space, others are using AI to further explore inner life.
In 20 to 30 years' time, you might see a street like this with humans walking up and down it, but there might also be a new thing, which is human-like robots might be walking up and down too with us. Humans and robots are really going to be doing the same kinds of things, and some of the things they'll be doing will be maybe superior to humans.
Suzanne is one of the founders of Sanctuary AI, a tech startup that's building what they call synths, or synthetic humans. That's right. Artificial intelligence wrapped in a body.
Our mission is to create machines that are indistinguishable from humans physically, cognitively, and emotionally.
Doing so involves solving problems of engineering, computer science, neuroscience, biology, even art and design. But for her, the problem of artificially replicating a person boils down to a deeper question. What does it mean to be human?
Understanding what it is to be human is a question that we've been asking ourselves for many thousands of years. So I'd like to turn science and technology to that question to try and figure out who we are.
We love stories and films about clones and replicants and humanoid robots. Why are we so obsessed with the idea of recreating ourselves? Is it biological? Existential?
The most complicated part of the perception system is actually the sense of touch.
Are you monitoring the touch?
Yes. Touch received.
We've actually embedded capacitive touch sensors in the synth's hand, essentially pressure sensors, allowing it to feel its environment and interact and manipulate objects.
Let's just test the pressure.
Okay.
This should max it out.
Yep, maxed out. Just stretch out her hand. Okay, go.
The reason the hand and the arm is able to move so fluidly is because of pneumatic actuators. They work using compressed air. You actuate one of these devices and it kind of contracts and pulls on a tendon. So the actuation mechanism is very similar to a human muscle. It's just not yet quite as efficient.
I'm adding the camera into the eyeball. Now I'm adding the cosmetic front of the eye.
The eyes are super important to get right. Similar to our own vision system, they can see similar color spectrum, and they can also, because there's two cameras, they can have depth perception too.
Restarting facial detection.
That actually looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to come forward a little bit? I'm going to restart her headboard.
Okay. That information is fed through a series of different AI algorithms. One algorithm is a facial detection system. She's definitely seeing me.
Yes, she is.
I can tell she's looking at me because she looked straight at me.
Yeah, gaze tracking is working.
Okay, cool.
Now, do you want to just smile? I'll see if she's actually capturing your emotion.
If you're smiling, The corners of your mouth come up, your eyes open a little bit, and the AI system can actually detect how those landmarks have moved relative to one another.
I think the moment in time we're at right now is very exciting because there's this field that's concerned about building human-like generalized intelligence and sometimes even kind of surpassing human intelligence.
There's people out there who believe that this is on our immediate horizon. I don't. I think we're a long ways away from machines that are truly conscious and think on their own.
She's responding. I can see her face changing.
You look happy.
Good. I'm gonna look sad.
You look sad.
Okay, good.
We have actually configured a lot of AI algorithms on the back end that give the robot the capabilities of recognizing people, detecting emotion, recognizing gestures and poses that people are making. It then responds in various ways with it.
Because a mind is not just knowledge or skill or even language, all of which a machine can learn. The part that makes us really human is consciousness, an awareness, a sense of being, of who we are and how we fit in time and space around us. A human mind has that, and memory.
He is a way of pushing the AI further towards making it a realistic human by having it be a copy of a specific human.
I remember going to Bolton Town Centre quite often. We just called it town.
The basic idea is you send in a large amount of text data and the system learns correlations between words. And the idea is that the synth could use one of these models to kind of blend together an idea of a memory that may have happened and may not have happened. So it's a little bit of an artistic way of recreating memories.
I remember going into W.H. Smith. It had a very distinct smell that I can still recall.
So by giving them these backstories now, we believe that we'll be able to learn in the future how they can create their own memories from their experiences.
I love the idea that there are passionate people who are dedicating their time and energy to making these things happen. Why? Because if and when it does happen, it's going to be because of those passionate people. We talk about the computer revolution like it's done. It's barely begun. We don't understand where the impact of these technologies will be over the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years. If you think it's exciting and confusing now, fasten your seatbelts because it hasn't.
Glad to see you.
Even if we do one day figure out how to create a virtual mind, it's not just the science. There's also the ethics. What kind of rights will the robots have? Can we imbue it with good values, make sure it's unbiased? What if it breaks the law or commits a crime? Are we responsible for our synths?
There are big ethical challenges in the field of AI. I believe that as a community of AI innovators and thought leaders, we have to really be at the forefront of enforcing and designing these best practices and guidelines around how we build and deploy ethical AI. I like to say that artificial intelligence should not be about the artificial, it should be about the humans.
You look angry.
Landmarks are registering.
I think it's perfectly reasonable to have a set of rules that govern ethical behavior when you are dealing with technologies that can have direct impact into people's lives and their families and the future.
The vision's very ambitious for this. We'd like to think that that is a 10 to 20-year mission. You might say we're somewhere like 5 to 10% of the way along. Why is her arm doing that?
It's almost like it's not clearing the buffer.
Yeah, interesting. Let's just restart you so your arm goes. Oh, wait, it's going back down again. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
How do you feel today, Nadine?
It feels good to be a synth.
Nice. Feels good to be a synth. The synths are not mobile at the moment. They can't move around, they can't walk yet. That's something we're going to be adding in within the next couple of years. The grand goal is to make these into their own beings with their own volition and their own rights. There are these moments you can have where you really feel something that's unusual, it's surprising. I was adjusting the synth's hair, and then she suddenly like smiled and opened her mouth a little bit, like, you know, like I just tickled her or something. It was just like synchronous with what I was doing.
In some ways, Suzanne's vision is already coming alive. She's making a connection, albeit small, with a machine. Isn't that something?
I think AI is part of evolution. The same evolution that led from bacteria to animals and has led people to create technology has led them to create AI. In some ways, we're still in the very early infancy of this new age.
Will we ever create intelligent life here on Earth? Or maybe we'll find it out there first?
E Davi descobriu que havia muitos problemas que a tecnologia não podia resolver, ainda havia muitos problemas sem solução, e eles ainda estão conosco e vocês ainda não os solucionaram, e eu não ouvi ninguém aqui falar sobre isso. Como solucionamos esses 3 problemas que eu gostaria de mencionar? O primeiro que Davi viu era o mal do ser humano. De onde ele vem? Como resolvemos isso? Inúmeras vezes no livro de Salmos, que Gladstone diz ser o maior livro do mundo, Davi descreve o mal da raça humana, e ainda assim ele diz, ele restaura minha alma. Você já pensou que contradição os seres humanos são? Por um lado, podemos penetrar fundo nos segredos do universo e dramaticamente alargar as fronteiras da tecnologia, como essa conferência demonstra claramente. Nós já vimos o fundo do oceano 3 milhas abaixo, ou galáxias a milhares de bilhões de anos-luz no futuro. Mas, por outro lado, algo está errado. Nossos navios de guerra, nossos soldados, estão numa fronteira agora, quase prestes a entrar em guerra com o Iraque. Agora, o que causa isso? Porque temos essas guerras a cada geração e em toda parte do mundo, e revoluções. Não conseguimos nos dar bem com as outras pessoas. Nos achamos paralisados nas garras de hábitos autodestruidores que não podemos quebrar. Racismo, injustiça e violência assolam o mundo, trazendo uma colheita trágica de dor e morte. Mesmo os mais sofisticados entre nós parecem impotentes para quebrar esse círculo. Eu gostaria de ver a Oracle solucionar isso. Ou alguns outros gênios tecnológicos trabalharem nisso. Como mudamos o homem? De forma que ele não minta ou trapaceie e que nossos jornais não estejam cheios de histórias de fraudes nas empresas ou nos trabalhos, ou atletismo ou em qualquer outra área. A Bíblia diz que o problema está em nós, dentro de nossos corações e almas. Nosso problema é que estamos separados do nosso Criador, que chamamos de Deus, e precisamos ter nossas almas restauradas. Algo que apenas Deus pode fazer. Jesus disse, porque do coração procedem os maus pensamentos, prostituição, adultério, furtos, morte, falso testemunho, blasfêmia. O filósofo britânico Bertrand Russell não era um homem religioso, mas ele disse, é no nosso coração que o mal está. E é de nossos corações que ele deve ser arrancado. Albert Einstein, eu estava conversando com alguém quando palestrava em Princeton, e encontrei com o Sr. Einstein. Ele não tinha um diploma de doutor porque ele disse que ninguém estava qualificado para lhe dar um. Mas ele disse essa frase, ele disse, é mais fácil desnaturar plutônio do que desnaturar o mal do espírito do homem. E eu sei que muitos de vocês pensaram sobre isso e se intrigaram com isso. Vocês viram pessoas pegarem avanços tecnológicos benéficos, como a internet, que ouvimos a respeito hoje à noite, e distorcê-los em algo corruptor. Vocês viram pessoas brilhantes criarem vírus de computador que fazem cair sistemas inteiros. O bombardeio da cidade de Oklahoma foi simples tecnologia, horrivelmente usada. O problema não é a tecnologia. O problema é a pessoa ou pessoas usando-a. O rei Davi disse, que ele conhecia as profundezas de sua própria alma. Ele não poderia se libertar de problemas sociais e pecados pessoais, que incluíam assassinato e adultério. No entanto, o rei Davi buscou o perdão de Deus e disse: Tu restauras minha alma. Vejam vocês, a Bíblia ensina que nós somos mais do que um corpo e uma mente. Nós somos uma alma. E existe algo dentro de nós que vai além do nosso entendimento. Essa é a parte de nós que anseia por Deus ou por algo mais do que encontramos na tecnologia. A sua alma é a sua parte que anseia por significado na vida e que busca por algo além dessa vida. E é a parte de você que realmente anseia por Deus. Eu percebo que jovens ao redor do mundo procuram por algo. Eles não sabem o que são. Eu falo em muitas universidades. E eu tenho muitos períodos de perguntas e respostas, que seja em Cambridge ou Harvard, ou Oxford. Eu falei em todas essas universidades. Eu estou indo para Harvard daqui a cerca de 2 meses, contando esse, para dar uma palestra, e me farão as mesmas perguntas que me fizeram na última vez que eu estive lá. E elas serão essas questões. De onde eu vim? Por que estou aqui? Para onde eu irei? Qual o sentido da vida? Por que eu estou aqui? Mesmo se você não tem religião, existem ocasiões quando você pensa que existe algo mais. Thomas Edison também disse: quando você vê tudo o que acontece no mundo da ciência e no funcionamento do universo, você não pode negar que existe um comandante na ponte. Eu lembro uma vez, me sentei ao lado da senhora Gorbachev num jantar na Casa Branca, e fui até o embaixador Dobrynin, quem eu conheço muito bem. Eu estive na Rússia por várias vezes durante o comunismo. Eles me deram uma liberdade maravilhosa que eu não esperava. E eu conheci o Sr. Dobrynin muito bem, e eu disse: eu vou me sentar ao lado da Sra. Gorbachev hoje à noite sobre o que eu devo conversar com ela. E ele me surpreendeu com a resposta. Ele disse: fale sobre religião e filosofia com ela. Isso é no que ela está realmente interessada. Eu estava um pouco surpreso, mas naquela noite foi sobre o que conversamos. E foi uma conversa estimulante, e depois ela disse: o Senhor sabe, eu sou uma ateia, mas eu sei que existe algo lá em cima maior do que nós.